Modern woman rants about the unavailability of men.
Some of them will even say, "Oh, I'm used to girls walking up to me."
Insane. But
What happened to
not
your
insane.
What happened to your natural instinct? Is that gone now? Are men just choosing not to walk up to women? Is that a thing?
Kind of a thing. Fear is real. Mental health is real. The anxiety of trying to approach someone is real.
Millennials, if you didn't know, they're the age range here. They would have had to been born between 1981 and 1996 to be a millennial. Now let's look at some of the top dating apps right now. The creator of Tinder, Sean Rad, is 37. The creator of Hinge is Justin McLeod at 39, and the creator of Bumble is Whitney Wolf Hurd at 34. They gotta think to yourself, yeah, a lot of Gen Zs are talking about how the streets are trash, there's no one out there right now, and a lot of them used to subscribe to dating apps. They've given up on dating apps, and now there's the same people that don't even know how to date.
Okay.
How many Gen Zs have you come across that would genuinely say, I don't even know how to walk up to a woman? I don't know how to pursue a woman. I'm not used to that.
What happened to men pursuing girls? When was the pivotal moment that a man chose to not go after a girl anymore and put in any effort? It seems like guys can just put the bare minimum and not even really put in effort anymore. They don't really care to. Or they're like, why don't girls just go and make the first move and make the effort? When did it become a thing? Now it's like role reversal where they expect girls to be making the first moves, yearning for a guy and chasing him. That is, I feel like, the downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone, because men don't put in effort anymore, don't care to put in effort. And a relationship won't work unless the guy likes the girl just a tiny little bit more. He has to like her just the tiniest bit more for it to work in the long haul. So it would make sense if a guy really wanted to get to know you, that he would go leaps and bounds to get to know you. And when did that shift? Because back in my mom's era, if a guy wanted to take you out on a date, he had to go up to you, he had to get your number, he had to go through lengths to try to talk to you, even if you weren't interested at first. How my parents met? They met at a bar, and my dad asked for my mom to dance, and my mom was like, get out of here. She wanted nothing to do with him. If he had just left and listened to her, they would have never gone married, they would have never had kids. But he was persistent. He wanted to take her out on a date so badly. He was like, what do I have to do to take you out on a date? She was working late their first date, so he went to her work, picked her up, prepped a dinner, took her to a park, just planned the whole thing. He wrote her poetry. He was yearning. How my aunt and my uncle met. My aunt was a dancer on a cruise ship, and he was the photographer. And he was persistent. She overheard him one night saying to his buddy, he was like, I'm gonna marry that girl. He had just met her. And now they're married and they have 2 kids together. I don't hear anything like that now. Now we're praising eye contact. Now we're praising if a guy held a door open to us and smiled. That is what we're praising. It feels so backwards. I just wonder when it shifted. Because I feel like that is the whole downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone now. Because men just don't care anymore.
Question for the men, or single men, maybe men in general. Is it too aggressive if a girl just comes up to you, starts talking to you, asks for your number just right off the jump? Is that too aggressive? Would you rather her come over and be like, just wanted to let you know I'm going to appreciate a good looking man when I see him, because you know, I've seen many fish in this sea and there ain't many good looking ones, so just thought I'd let you know you're super cute, and then have her, you know, circle back before she leaves, maybe slide you her number and say, not sure if you're single, not sure if you're interested, but in the chance that you are single and you are interested, give me a call. Would love to grab a drink, would love to grab dinner, would love to get to know you. Text me. Ask me out. Is that too aggressive, or are guys appreciating that kind of stuff? I feel like that's the route I would go, but just super curious.
Dying alone and childless is still much better than being cuckolded and divorce raped. Dying alone and childless is still much better than being a nice guy who gets to marry a woman who has ridden the cock carousel, while bad boys have all the fun. Dying alone and childless is still much better than having a wife who abuses you, gold digs you, cuts your finger, slanders you in public, and is so hell-bent on destroying your career. It's not that men have refused to date. It's that feminism has taken hold of the young women of today, and the young women of today have gone completely cuckoo. Many young women of today embrace the term feminism, which is supposed to just basically mean equality, such as equal pay, and equal opportunity for both men and women, but it really doesn't mean that. What feminism really means is espousing things such as, women don't need men. Women don't need to cook and clean for men. They don't need to submit to a man or cook his favorite food. They don't want to be led by a man. They are also getting married less and having children less and less. Women want to be able to wear whatever they want. When I say whatever, I mean revealing clothing, ass hanging out of their shorts, and the man is supposed to be okay with that. Most of these women have racked up high body counts and passed through the hoe phase. Most of them post revealing pictures on their social media apps for all to see for constant validation from men. It's like food to them. Many women entertain DMs from men they don't know, but will consider getting to know them through their social media apps. The woman may say, "He's just a friend." To stress the point further, a lot of these young women do OnlyFans. You'll see these women spamming Twitter with their OnlyFans links. It's disgusting and pitiful. When you talk, feminists hurl insults at you and say, "My body, my choice." And you want us men to be okay with all these. Basically, modern women have rejected their own gender roles. These feminists still want the man to pay for the first date, still want their special men to propose marriage, put a ring on their finger, and still want men to provide for them both financially, and also provide protection if the women were ever to get into any real danger. This means the men may have to put themselves in danger, protecting their woman against a wild dog, against a wild animal, or against another male attacker. Not realizing that these are all traditional male gender roles, the feminists still want the men to fulfill their traditional gender roles, but at the same time, the women are dumping their own traditional roles. Modern feminist women are no longer traditional, and they want the men to be okay with all this. And if any man is not okay with it, he is called misogynistic and sexist. Because we don't accept all this nonsense, modern women have shamed us by calling us toxic and insecure. The thing is, men need to be needed. They want respect and acknowledgement. But they are not getting much of that anymore, are they? Can you imagine being a young man and having to deal with all this, and still at the same time being expected to pay for the date, for example? Because of this, some young men have withdrawn from the dating market and/or have become much more selective on who and when to date. 50% of women will be single and childless by 2030. I'm glad that women's toxic and unhealthy choices and behaviors are backfiring on them. What can you expect from a gender that cries about oppression merely from a man glancing at a woman or approaching to say hi? Women have gotten equal rights. They've gotten more than equal rights. Yet no matter what, men are blamed simply for being men. The fact is that no matter what, women will always be unhappy, whether they have nothing, equality, or everything. Women really are very confusing and irrational. If women are truly sorry and want to reduce that percentage, they just need to do 3 things. Stop posting on their of accounts. OnlyFans is the new way for young women today to make quick, easy money if they have a beautiful body. It is dangerous because men look at women who do this as if it is digital prostitution. Male friends that I have asked in my life reject a girl once they know that she is on of, or even worse, break up with her after already entering into a loyal relationship. Modern women need to become more feminine. Young women and mature women today are acting less and less feminine. Many women who are in society claim that they do not need men anymore. Everyone who has an education knows that men have helped build the world as it is today, and women have been there for men. Educated people also know that men and women are equal in many aspects. But when it comes to physical work, men have done more, and women less. Men built highways, they built train tracks, they built that large building in your large city near your home where a new business is opening next year. They built airports and spaceports and cars and buses. You get my point. Yes, women have been in those jobs too, but about 1% compared to 99% worked by men. If we did not need men, we would not have a civilized world or any new buildings and roads. Men love femininity. If a woman acts feminine around her man, she becomes exceptionally attractive, and the woman has a lesser risk of losing her male partner. Now, the elephant in the room. It is becoming more and more common for women today to have more than one boyfriend at the same time. While this is looked at as okay by polygamous thinkers, it is not looked at as being acceptable by men who want a nuclear family. A woman who has several boyfriends today will be lonely in the future because their body will be tired. Having multiple partners is different for a man than it is for a woman in the long term. Men love a woman who is dedicated to them. If more women become dedicated, these women have a lesser risk of becoming lonely or childless by 2030. So, modern women, do whatever you want with this information. That's all for today on Manhood. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe buttons, and also click on the notification bell to be the first to know when I drop a new video. If you find value in my videos, you can show your support through PayPal or Cash App. The links are in the description. See you next time. Cheers.